Ande me kwami baba oh ande me kwami baba ande me kwami baba me kamo no ba ande me kwami baba ande me kwami baba ande me kwami baba me kamo no ba now you found that out. And they make me baba. Why they make me baba? Why they make me baba? Why they make me baba? Social Club of Nigeria. Lady Nokagbe Amoyi. President Ivan Nomo. Amaluka Social Club. After the Nomo. After the Tula Membo. Lawrence Ivan Nomo. Lawrence Nomo. Yabagali Gbemono. Sinamo, Jabagali Benin no more. Montetula no more. Jamana Committee, Jabagali Benin Mono. Brother, and on board, and on board. Bedroom of the house. And the bell. And the mama. And your son no more. Now the babuja. And your son no more. And your son no more. Now the babuja. And your son no more.
Abushan.
Solomon Aguala Meo. I live in Mona.
As you join us, Esan sons and daughters, endeavor to press the share button, share to friends and family, share to all loved ones. Arrivé à Abushan. Egbe fún arrivé gbe ìwòkè san. Ọ̀nà yìí sí 5 naira, Mado Kaiho. Good evening, everyone out there. Please press the share button. Share to all Esan sons and daughters. Invite more people to come join us. Like, thumbs up, comments, and also join us to share your view this evening. I'm adding our very own, the person of Vincent, the the grant coordinator of Esan Focus Association Circle is here with us. You're all welcome. Please, as you listen on the song that is playing on the background, please share. Ìwòkè san àríwé Abushan. Quality base. Ara Oyaba. Ara Abushan. Ono Benin. Oyegbe Fure. Abushan Oyaba. Esan hoje Oje. Esan na egbe. Esan na mu. Esan na le. Mera ọmọ nu wa biele. Ọmọ nesan biele. Me Henry. Me da joy. Nado fe lige ose nwana. Thank you, everyone. I think let me quickly introduce myself first of all. For those people who are seeing me for the first time, make a recent gigbe my mind, evoke san revegbe. Anyway, actually, I be a udare okosu. Among san dearly making. Ugboha on my life I will tell san. Family si idunido. Family si zugbon. Ugboha idunido. Idunido on my life I will go. Family si zugbon. Me actually me can't tell any around me that me actually I be a udare okosu. Ewokama wakara. Esan me zenia oyo to Esan me da lo Esan aze wa nyawo ebimere zo ye orie no se mama marie no se pa mi merio pa wia ramude ran school Esan an bio hotel Esan ran ware Esan e bo rejaye me da joy Esan aze emino heke no okay, na zwe ewu na avai. O medama gbe okoto nosin. Elena nia mefeke zonisa here usenobwa obulu. By name, I am Igbe Erudari Okosun. I'm also from Esan, Ugboha to be precisely. I'm from Uzogbon, Ugboha, Idunido, Ugboha. I greet every one of us this evening. I'm supposed to be having my hosts, who is the Grand Coordinator of Esan Focus Association, Ekuma, the CEO of Esan Academy. I think he's having network issues to join us. His network is not answering, but I think on the long run, I will see if I'll be able to add him up. Okay, and then today's message, we are going straightly now to message. Mr. Vincent, you are on board. Good evening. Let me allow you to introduce yourself. Before you do that, let me quickly reiterate on the subject matter for this evening, for tonight. It's all about cola nuts. Mr. Vincent, I don't know if you shift a bit further. We're head meter. Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I think, yes,
Hello?
I can hear you. I think you have to shift a bit further because we are not seeing you. We are not seeing you.
Hello?
Maybe you're shift a bit further. Are you holding your? We are not seeing you. Are you holding your phone? You need to look
Can
for
you
a
hear
place
me now?
to.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you better. I think you have to, if possible. Okay, I wanted you to be free. You would have looked for a place to wedge your phone opposite you. Okay, all right. Please introduce yourself to our
Okay.
Esan people out there.
Just hold on.
Please introduce yourself to our Esan people out there.
Just hold on.
You have to reduce the volume from your side because it's re-echoing. The sound is reverberating here. So the volume from your side, because being that you are using earpiece, you have to reduce your.
Okay. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on.
Bear with us, our audience. We're sorry. We have to fix up all the technical issues. Okay. Okay, we are good to go. Yes. I come again. I am by name Aigbe Eudare Okosu, convener of Esan Focus Association. I'm precisely from Ugboha, Idunudon in Ugboha. I'm of the Uzugbon family in Ugboha. So honorable my guests and my viewers out there, let me quickly allow my guest here to introduce himself to every one of us, to Esan sons and daughters out there. Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me?
I think you're not hearing us. Are you hearing me? Yes, I can hear you now.
I can hear you, but can you hear me over there? Okay.
Very clear. I can hear you very clear. We can hear
good
you.
evening, everyone.
Hearing you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Mr. Vincent Osaige Osekweme Oboite. I am from Ekpoma, Esan West Local Government Area of Edo State. And I'm happy to be part of this discussion today, anchored by our brother, Honorable Aigbe Okosu. And I want every one of us to contribute towards the development of Esan and towards the promotion of Esan culture. Bareligia Ubilo Vakara.
Mr. Vincent Osaige Oboite Oshansa, the grand coordinator of Esan Focus Association Ekpoma. Okay, let's go into our subject matter for today. And we're looking at kola nut. We know that in Africa, or in West Africa, most especially in southern part of Nigeria, Africa, kola nut is significant and is symbolic to us as African people, as people who are mostly from southern part of the world, and even southern part of Nigeria, and even in the west, and even in the north. The north, they respect kola, and the north call kola guru. So kola is known to the north as guru. Now, this kola nut is symbolic and significant to us. And then in a whole lot of, or almost all the ceremony, the occasions, the meetings, the gathering, kola is very, very needed, because he that brings kola nuts brings life. And then in prayers, you cannot pray as far as traditional ways is concerned. In Esan land, in the southern parts of the world, you cannot, of Nigeria, sorry to say, you cannot pray with the absence of kola. Now, kola nuts, which is one of the major fruits. Fruits signifies both spirituality and physically. So, kola nuts is one of the major fruits that is always needed in prayers. And how do we pray? How is our Africa culture being guided when it comes to prayer. We know fully well that when a meeting is summoned, when there is occasion, when there is ceremony, the elders that are gathered in that ceremony, in that meeting that is summoned for any reason, the elders that are there are the one to pray. An elderly person or the most eldest person amidst, or the person who is older amidst those people that are seated, that are gathered for meeting occasion, it takes the elder to pray, the one who is the most senior amidst them. But we are now looking at a particular culture that the Esan should not be subjected to, because although there are some ancient culture, when we begin to advance in wisdom as human upon human community, we deem it fit to begin to appropriate some ancient culture that do not really mean well. You understand? This culture ought to be adjusted and appropriated. You know, as humans begin to develop upon their human community, their socio-cultural engagement, there are some rules and regulations they set by reason of their knowledge they were having, little knowledge. So when we begin to develop, the more we develop, the more we are exposed to knowledge. And when we are exposed to knowledge, some laws, some rules that were set down before, we see it necessary for it to be adequately adjusted, even though it was a people that put up this rule before. Let's look at I'll give us two instances here. For example, like, oh, he's off. I'll give us two instances here. For example, like the Esan culture. We all know generally that it used to be like this in our marital sector. It used to be like this. If a woman commits adultery, what will happen to that woman before? What will happen to that woman before? The children she will be losing the children will be feeling sick, and then it will lead to death of the children, and sometimes, or most of the time, it will affect the manhood or penis, as we may call it. This is a spiritual structure that was laid. As we begin to develop and gain more wisdom, the elders in Esan land deem it fit, see it necessary to appropriate that, to say, no, he or she that's that commits that sin should be the one to bear the consequences, not the children, not the husband. So how did they not adjust it? So it was not adjusted that instead of, if a woman who is married to an Esan man, if she commit adultery, as in sleep with another man, instead of her children to be facing the consequences, or the husband to face the consequences, it should be her. So it was not appropriated to one who erred, to one who break the code, to one who break the law. Is supposed to be the one that should bear the consequences. So it was not appropriated. It's no longer, if a woman that is married to an Esan man, if she commit adultery, it will be the children that will bear the consequences. She will be losing her children. So it was no longer like that. It was not appropriated to say, no, it will be a woman. Now, okay, please send requests. Send requests. If you want to join, you send requests. In my own view, which is morally, I also look at the Hausa Fulani. The Hausa, it is their culture. The Hausa, the Fulani, the Hausa Fulani, it is their culture for them to take cattle around. It is not mere business. It is cultural to them, for them to take, because cattle is part and parcel of the Hausa's culture. So it is embedded in their culture for them to take cows around or cattle around. To do what? To go feed and all that. It is their culture. Ancient culture. But as humanity begin to develop, as we begin to age, as we begin to grow, it is necessary for this cow to be put in a particular place like ranches, for example. It's no longer necessary for you to be taking cows all about, because now there are now tie roads everywhere. There are now more houses. There are now more compound. There are now farms everywhere. Before the ancient days, it was just you and your bushes and your huts. Your hut. What is your hut? Your house. That's your small house. There were no people, no infrastructure, no children that is as much as we're having today. So, being that we are not having all these infrastructures, we are not having city, we are not having developed community, schools are built, farms are even closer to the house. Before, farms used to be far away from the house. Now, farms are closer to the house. So, the people of Nigeria, most especially that southern part, are not saying, no, we are not going to allow this again. There should be ranches that are built. The cows should not be taken all over the places. You understand? So, cultures need to be checkmate, need to be looked into to see how befitting it is for the people of this dispensation, for the people of this knowledge, for the people that has gone so far, for the people that are this exposed. Now, let's look at this kola nut that we're talking about. I have given us two reference points. Lucky Bear said, don't speak English. No, I'm going to speak English. When we need to do Esan program, those people who speak Esan fluently well, will bring them on board to engage in Esan, because there are some subject matter we're talking that also concerns our neighbors. They need to know, they need to hear what we're talking about. So when we are strictly for our Esan people, it does not concern our neighbor, then we will make program where Esans people, women and men, who speaks Esan fluently, who writes in Esan fluently, even you, Lucky Best, will be invited for the Esan talk show. So that is by the wayside. But this program for tonight is by reason of every one of us needs to be informed. We need to hear, we need to know what is going on. We are talking about kola nuts. Now, this kola nut that we're talking about, it is titled there that it is not morally and spiritually right for one who is younger by age to break kola nuts and lead in prayers in any meeting where there are elderly people. We, the Esans, should not be subjected to such history. It is nothing but supremacy concepts. It is nothing but supremacy concepts. We should not be subjected to such. Why is it not morally right? Looking at it from this point of view, you come to a gathering where there are old men, where there are people that are older than you, or you are in a gathering where there are people that are older than you. And this is not our culture. This is not African culture. This is just a law that was made by a particular person. Just like a law, a decree was also made by one of the Oba that made a decree who said that those people in that kingdom as at that time will not take baths for 3 years, will not eat food that is cooked with oil and that comes from fire for 3 years, and will not engage in sexual intercourse, whether you are married or not, for 3 years. It's a harsh decree. And the Esans did not subject themselves to that decree. And now we are having such as decree that is fashioned into culture, that when an Edo man gets to Esan land, wherever, whether he is a boy of 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, if that adult person is in the presence of those Esan persons, those Afema persons, if he is in the presence, in as much they are having a meeting or festival, whatever it is, because he's an adult person, he will be the one to pray. If you are an adult man or not, you only need to look at this that we are bringing on board with pure hearts to see that it is not really correct. It is not correct for you that is young. It's just like my father is sitting, old man, my grandfather is sitting in a meeting where there are Esan people, there are Edo people, and there are other tribes or language seated in that meeting. You that is not as old as my grandfather, that is the most senior when it comes to age, I miss every one of you. He, for example, he should be, let's say, okay, he is 99 years old, he's 80 years old, he's 70 years old. You that is 20 years old or 30 years old, that is not up to his age, you will be the one to break collar. Is that not supremacy concept? You will be the one to break collar and pray. In a gathering, indigenous gathering, where they have elderly people, it is supremacy concepts. We, the Esans, we should not subject ourselves any longer. In short, when you look at the whole southern parts of Nigeria, it is only the Esans that still, by reason of we are one, we are still the one that is subjected to this. I have not seen any Afema gathering where they are having landlord and landlady meetings. Those of you that school in Auchi, those of you that is schooling in Yoruba, those of you that is schooling in Port Harcourt, and if these people want to pray, they will first of all be asking, is there any Benin man here? So come and pray. Where there are old people or people that are older than him, elderly people. Do you know when you subject yourself to supremacy concepts, you will not be respected, you will not be regarded, you will be sidelined, you will be seen as less relevant if you subject yourself. And when you subject yourself, you will be disrespected. Medatona, mesekare joka boy, resilo mawania. My levy. Bomio yekere no gbera rio awon se boegbe joka boy da fineme sorio joba Benin iwo kesan ki han eda dagbare eda joka boy mama dio na wo pa sabo dokere or dagbaro duku kidoa tao like as if where hold the new Esan. Iwo Esan reve ne dagbare ni da edajo eje àwọn deba na nutana àwọn fo re ni Iwo Esan ono je da dagbare ono je da gbin letter of apology or da gbon ni letter ni or da gbon dagbare wa kan mi ho iran de amegbe gboto gbe emi na ti o respective bo ujajo mi o raude we to bo mo egbo e gboto ono je da dagbare oda gbin apology letter wo te Nigeria ni re and wo te o wo to is south east south west as we may call it e wo buin ne se dagbare joka bo e kai dagbare e wo buin ne se dagbare ne fiunu joba ono je se kingi se so wa dagbare dog be apology letter erewe fio e ha okis osama kishun ono je se wa dagbare agba apology letter okay an fo we ni o ba kawe ho Akido from Oria, Panon win avec your palace. Oda doje okay, Joka boy me do arrest here. E jada joy okpa mahin. Balu ni ekpe amunegbe. Akiti egbe okpa fo. Aki amu ekpe negbe. Roy, abe mo ekpe wan re. Awa mo ekpe wan. Polisi ki vai, bo keke na kalufo. Aki ka diof defi osionoje. Aki yo onoje. One of your son is needed in the police station. Oyo yobano, eje, I want de always also noje, I want seek onoje permission, I want timaili, ada dio defi always joka boy, ada real police, ada remo joka boy. And Mujoka boy, that is not the issue. Ari police in Mujoka boy is not the issue. The issue is that I want with me in Esan. Around day, on mwekme, I will hear some relating. Around day, I will booming, near self feeling job. O general toy, so Dagbare to apologize. Or say, Madame Dagbare, Masai Dagbare. There was no respect. Ek meri wana na muwa. Akedo mujoka boy. Whether see the palace, whether see the hotel dore, whether vai hotel san, whether di police vai hotel san. But police be hotel san. Ono jeki joy, okay, we have heard your message because ebare luemi are luemi. Okay, na mutme negbi. Ada ti egbe okpafo. Àti egbe ọ̀páfò àwọn àdàmú ìpínlẹ̀gbè ọ̀ní ìyọ̀pá èkúra ẹ̀sàn họ ẹrẹ́nì ẹ̀sàn yọ èkú yìwò èkúra. Ẹ̀bọ̀ kẹ́kẹ́ náà rẹ̀ lóẹ̀rì akìkà dèfì ọ̀rẹ́ ìsọ̀nòjì akìyọ zaiki. Èmi nà ọ̀já ni asúnú. Ọ̀màdà àjọ ọ̀nàmùnà mádọ̀ máa ń lẹ́sìn kéré. Ore ma revai joy ma o ma police le mon. Ana mo bo mie jo ono die jo ki na police mo no moni na do torture no moni kere no mi jo na anwa ono die ki jo ki police no ri uro mi police no ri uru a police no ri lepo ma eni a mo dio o we vai we si hotel dore u di always poto isan ama mi ono die àwọn sí kọ́nọ́jẹ́ concept and ọ̀nọ́jẹ́ náà ọ̀nọ́jẹ́ ká gbé letters apology tó kórè o. Can you imagine that? Bẹ́ṣọ́nà rèwéré ìwòkè san máa mú ẹgbẹ́ wọn àgbótọ̀. Bí máa rẹ́ mú ẹgbẹ́ wọn àgbótọ̀ yẹ. Àárẹ̀ rí garden, you are in a gathering where there are elderly people. Because of supremacy concepts, you that is not up to the age of that one that is a Benin person, then you will sit down. He will be leading in prayers. It is not correct. It is not correct. Menra omonesa bieli ofe mume ejo feda mume. As far that you are not coming out to spoil, you should not be afraid. As far as you are not coming out to kill, you should not be afraid. You should stand with all tenacity to challenge what is not right. To challenge what is not right. That is how it's supposed to be. Me ki monaroro. Me da kyoja. Esan na gbe. Me da kyoja avec kyogbe. Me da hinia. C'est on est venu no sunni. Aki gi message le kier Oba Palace of Benin for apology to say, I want J to come and apologize to all the Onojes of Esan land, for you to come to Esan land to abuse the Esan people in that manner. To abuse the Esan people on that manner. Ejada, check your bafo. Ekme amunegbe ni. Ekme, awanami ekme, ejada, si egbe okba. Ayokba ekura ekujiwo. Where they have called a group of people to say we are one. What is needed in that group, in that unitary group, is mutual respect. Is mutual respect. If there is no mutual respect, that is not oneness. It is deception. It is deception to subject you into that deceptive oneness. That is why I spoke with Esan language first. I said, why did this letdown come to the Esan? Because we are the one that voluntarily gave ourselves to it. We should not be subjected to such culture. It is not right spiritually, it is not right morally, it is not right physically, in any ramification, in any angle, it is not right for a younger person, just because, it's not because there is another reason, just because he is from a particular group, a particular language, a particular tribe, so that qualifies him to lead in prayers, to break kola nuts and pray where there are elderly people that are senior to him. Check this, even if you are not a Esan person. Check this to ask yourself if this is right. Check it to ask yourself if this is not supremacy concepts. We, the Esan people, should not subject ourselves to it. And I said in Esan, I have to say it again in English, and I said in Esan before, why the letdown of Esan people is out there is because we ourselves voluntarily subject ourselves to that kind of culture that is not right. That is why they see us as less relevant. When Joker Boy issue happened, which the Esan people, large numbers of the Esan people condemned it, and the videos of the Esan, sorry, that was my network. The videos of the Esan people that condemned the deeds, the proclamation, the words of Esan of Joker, they are still out there. It didn't end there. The Onoje, one of the Onoje in Esan land, wrote a letter of apology to the palace of the Oba of Benin. Now, before Joker Boy came on board to say those words he said, whether you see it correct or not, to say those words he said, there are people, countless of people in different kingdoms in that Nigeria, most especially southern parts of Nigeria, who has always come out to abuse or to use foul languages to criticize the Oba of Benin. None of their king, none of their monarch has ever come out to tender an apology on behalf of that their son or that their daughters. It is only the Esan people that did so. That is to tell you that we are the one that is even piloting the affair of this Okbamahin, of this unity. We are the one that is even respecting it. No others that are respecting it. It did not end there. Now, the person who came to Esan land all the way from Benin to Esan land to come and arrest Joker Boy with police. What? And this person is not just an ordinary person. He has a stake inside the palace of Oba of Benin. Because that is the power he's using. He came and arrest Joker Boy. Now, before you do that, in a place where therefore say now one will be, what they do for that place? Respect, now they give each other mutual respect, adequate mutual respect. And you know that there is a king that already came out to tender an apology letter. And when you are coming, how do they do things? You first of all go to the palace of that king. That king, not a second-class king. Even if you're not a second-class king, you first of all go to his palace to say, my king live long. We are from Benin City. We want to come and torture this our child, this our son, who is using foul languages on our monarch. That is why we came with police. And the Onoje will be the one to approve or disapprove, to say, don't worry. If the Onoje have to disapprove it, the Onoje will say, don't worry, my son, you people are welcome. We are going to look into the matter. That is how they respect kings. You cannot just leave your kingdom. When this is something that is concerning cultural thing, traditional thing. You cannot just leave your kingdom and bash into a kingdom where there are kings, where there is kings and chiefs, without their consent. If really you are respecting that union, that traditional union, I am speaking from pure heart, without fear and without favor. What you are supposed to do is to go to the king and say, yes, we have. And the king will now say, okay, even if we ought to arrest him, we are going to, the police that you brought from Edo State, from Benin City, you people should go back. If not fuel money, they will give them, they go back. Then if that our son really needs to go to a police station, then they will use the police in that kingdom, in Esan land. If there is no need, they will call the boy in order and say, we don't want to see this again. But no. And after that happened, there was no message from the palace to write an apology letter to say, we did not send that man who went to go and arrest. Respect is reciprocal. We serve you the respect first. It ought to reciprocate. If it's not reciprocating, that means you don't value us. You are not counting us as people of high value. Esan, the key Z madam. What led to all this is because we are the one who subjected ourselves into it, to culture that is not correct. It is not correct, and we, the Esan, need to discontinue. That is why I am speaking out. I am the first person that have come out to say this. People have been grumbling. People have been grumbling. No, you don't need to be grumbling and murmuring when you have something that is not going down well with you. What you need to do is to air out your voice, not in a sagalicious way, so that you will be heard about. What you have said will be looked into. And if what you have said is not looked into, it means that they don't have respect for you. It means that they don't have respect for you. When you hear the word that says Arasore do Edo Odion, Edo Rasoro and Edo, it is not also correct. I cannot leave my kingdom to your kingdom to go and play seniority. It is nothing but supremacy concept. You are not supposed to leave your kingdom to my kingdom to come and play seniority. This is what is leading to all these kola notes that they are breaking. And it is only the Esan. Ask the whole public if there is any other people that is doing that. And yet, we are still the one that is said that if you see the Esan people, you kill them first before you kill the snake. When you subject yourself to oppression, when you subject yourself to relegation, you will not be valued. You will not be valued. This is why I am at. If you have not shared this broadcast, please share it. If you are Esan person, you have not shared it. Look for hundreds, thousands of Esan people to share it to, so that we will hear this and come up to the occasion to detach ourselves from this that we are subjecting ourselves to willingly. This is why you always hear that Arasore do Edo Odion, Edo Rasoro and Edo Odion. It is not correct. There is no way you want to see it. That when you leave your own village, your own kingdom, you in your own kingdom, you are senior. If you also live there to another man's kingdom, you are senior there. This is supremacy concept, and nobody want to associate with supremacy concept any longer. I cannot, everybody, they are senior in their kingdom, in their domain. When you get to another man's kingdom, you become junior. Naturally, you will be subjected to the ways they do their own things, they pilot their affairs of their social engagement there. That is how it's supposed to be. You know, I was saying this the other time. Before I say, because I was championing, I was the first and foremost person that came out and opened Great Benin Emancipation. And I was pondering on it for us to unify ourselves. But each time in that Great Benin Emancipation, I want to speak from there to say, these things we are doing, we have to adjust it. All those people there, they will be attacking me. So I have to drop the name and go to my home because I have a home. They will be attacking me. And this is the things we ought to checkmate. There was a time when I said, there are some things we ought to sit on round table. We sit on round table, which if we really want to pilot the affair of this unity we are saying, you don't need to be enjoying the unity because you are playing supremacy concept. If the unitary system you are in, you are not, the other people are not valued the way you are, that means you are cheating them. That is why you are enjoying it. And it is fraudulent. When people want to air out their view as concerning that, you label them Oriomba. So how will people speak? Then I have to go back to my father's land. I have to go to my own family to tell my people, no, these people don't really mean this Okpa Marine. They are just saying it for them to continue to cash cruise with us, to ride us. Because before you say, let us checkmate, this thing that is happening is not correct, they will criticize you and castigate you and call you enemy of the land. So, Esan people, what is wrong with us? We should not subject ourselves to history that says, Alasore do, Edo Odion, Edo Rasoroman, Edo Odion. Or in Esan language, Arasise do, Edo Odion, Edo Rasisoria, Edo Seyorodion. Bationi. Those mere lip services culture that we give to is not working anywhere. You cannot go to Yoruba land and go and play supremacy concept because you are a Doma. They will not accept you. They will not agree. They will not even give you an inch for you to play those supremacy concepts. You cannot go to Calabar to do it. You cannot go anywhere. It's only just within us, Esans and Edos. Because we are the one that is trying to play the unity concept, to pursue, to continue the unity concept. Is it not an abuse for you to leave, you that is a stake in the palace of the Oba of Benin, and you want to come and arrest someone? If it is a different matter, maybe it does not concern cultural matter, or maybe the Onoje did not interfere in that matter that a king has already interfered in, you must seek the consent of anywhere in the world. You must seek the consent of the king before you do otherwise. Before you do otherwise. So since they are not seeing it like that, like the way we are seeing it now, then we need to make sure we tidy our land so that our land will be conducive for us, because the land is left untidy. It's left untidy. How many times can you see them renovating one school in Esan land like it is normally done within the Benin city? How many times will you see them constructing roads and gutter in Esan land? The governors that has been coming up. So our land is left untidy. That is why most of us, we are even running away from the place where the government is. They are recycling development there. So we don't want this kind of unity any longer. We don't want it. What the Urobo people are facing, what they say they are facing from the Shekiri, is not up to what the Esan people has been tolerating. It's not up to what the Esan people has been tolerating, but yet they are agitating for Wado City. This is just the truth. It's not up to. So how long are we going to do like be hypocritical to ourselves with the Esans, Igbo Esan? Ma da ho neku, ma abiomo aki ho eku Igbo, but ma da ho neku, ma da se ye nhia, ma da failure ha, onye siki ma emo na hu, onye siki ma on intelligence, onye siki ma on enwa, ni ma rek mano, hare feke pame Adam Yuvan. Adam Yuvan, there will be no quarrel, nothing. It's just for us to fight for it diplomatically. Diplomatically, fight for it. Esan state. So that nobody will come and be saying you talk to their king anyhow. Because where we are dwelling together under unity, and then we don't have voice to say this, we don't like it like this. And before you say one or two things, they will come and arrest you with police. So we just have to stay on our own. We don't even need to come on Facebook. But why did I decide to come on? So that you will hear, you will know that these things is not correct. Even if you are not a Esan person. The way I am narrating it, you look at it, it is not correct. You cannot bypass. You just leave because now you get power pass. Waiting they stop, waiting they happen. You cannot bypass. Nobody has spoken about it, but I will speak about it. Because I'm also royalty. I'm from a royal home as well. I have a stake in the palace as well. So if nobody is talking about it, me that is also from a royal home in Esan land, I also have a stake in the palace by virtue of my own parents, then I have to speak about it. It is not done anywhere. It is not accepted anywhere. An apology letter should be issued. If really you mean the unity concept, apology letter should be issued straight away. Because respect is reciprocal. If the respect you are dishing to your fellow is not reciprocating, then you cease from dishing out such respect. What are you talking about? God created it to be so. God created it to be so for you to leave your kingdom and go and be senior in another kingdom. That is fraudulence. Are you the one to speak for God? We speak for God. You don't know God more than other persons know God. You can't say God created it like that. It's a lie. Your seniority is within your kingdom. It is called Esan land, Otesan, Otedo. We are only dwelling together in harmony. Why can't you people just open your hearts to truth and say, really and truthfully, this thing is not correct. Let us adjust it. You cannot just open because of pride. Because that supremacy concept must continue. And from time past till now, because of the supremacy concept, people have been breaking away. People have been breaking away. They have been broken away, and you are not seeing reason to look into it. I have cried for us to unify ourselves. My throat got shrink. Why can't you just naturally just open your heart and reason with people without putting yourself first? So because I am a senior in my father's house, I will also go to your father's house and place seniority there. It does not work that way. It does not work that way, and it can never work that way. There are countless of seniors. We are not juniors to you. We are not second to anyone. We are part and parcel of ourselves. Until you people see this, that we are part and parcel of ourselves, we will not agree to continue in that kind of supremacy, in that kind of concept, in that kind of unity. We are not second to none. The Esan people are second to none. We are part and parcel of ourselves. Was there any time when the Benin got married and gave birth to Edo, somebody called Edo firstborn, and gave birth to Esan secondborn? This is where they want to subject us to. That is not working with any other persons apart from us. Why is it working with us? It's because we overlook it. It is not that we don't have the power to put a stop to it. We are just overlooking it. Let unity continue. And the unity that is continuing is to override us. It's to override us. It's to override us. It's to override us. Because if this is not disrespect and overriding a people, you cannot leave a palace and go to another palace where there is a king and go and pick up somebody with police without the consent of the king. And the king already have a say in the matter that is leading to the arrest. Not just a mere say. A king, for that matter, that look away from his highly reverend throne and issue out an apology letter. Do you want to tell me that before Joker Boy came out to say all those things he said, that you see it as wrong? Do you want to tell me that there are people who have not said more than that? Much. Do you want to tell me that everything that Joker Boy said was the first time? What did he say that has not been said? That is what I want to ask. I am not supporting or against him, but I am just analyzing truth. What did he say that has not been said? Everything he said was what he copied from what they have been saying. And the people that have been saying all those things, how many of their king has come out to issue out an apology letter? How does it take the respect person reach? When you take look this kingdom to say, these people, they deserve adequate respect. I have to wait till this time. At least there should be enough time whereby, even from the palace, where the man who has a stake in the palace came out from, the overall there will come out and say, did you stop in the palace first of all? If you did not, we condemn that your arrest. we did not send you. Then apology letter will be issued out. That is an abuse to Esan land. It's an abuse to Esan land. It's an abuse to Esan land. You cannot come to Esan land and arrest somebody like that. We are not analyzing what Jokerboy did, whether analyzing it to be wrong or whether analyzing it to be good. But what I am saying here now is the code of conduct that you people embark on. At least the letter was delivered. At least there are a lot of Esan persons who came on air to condemn and disassociate themselves from what Jokerboy did or said. That was not checkmate. You just came with all arrogance. Like as if they should check the Esan land, you are much, much better than some prominent Esan sons and daughters that are still there in Esan land, home and abroad. Like as if you are the one who have the monopoly of violence. If we should really assess it, if it is by violence they do things. They don't do things in a violent way. They don't do things in a disrespectful way. They don't do things in a disrespectful way. So, we need to focus on Esan because we are not really focusing on Esan. We are neglecting a lot of things that should be undone, that should be disallowed. We are not focusing on Esan. Politically, we have been too quiet. Socially, in that Edo state, we've been too quiet. And when I mean not being quiet, I don't mean coming out to do saga. We need to gather ourselves together and speak to ourselves behind closed doors and make our decisions of moving away, because history repeats itself. If you don't want to adjust, history will repeat itself. We moved away before. It is because we refuse to tolerate that kind of hardened proclamation that would have led into culture today. If we did not move away as at that time, by now, Esan population would have been finished because nobody would have given birth within the process of that 3 years. It would have turned into a culture upon us, and they will write it into history to say it is our history. Our ancestors make it so, just as what we are having today. They will write it into history. It would have turned into culture as we're speaking now. But we disallowed it. We disallowed it. We completely disallowed it. Let me tell you, Osayande Unoma, not at the destinate, at the destinate of Esan people being abused. You're asking me if this is how I want to unite South people. Are South people not giving heed to the work we are doing out there? They are giving heed to it. But does that mean I should be stupid and look away from this supremacy concept? I will not look away. We, the Esan people, we are not going to allow it. We are not going to allow it. If it continues, we have to agitate for Esan states. In short, there is no agitation that will be done. We just need, yeah, if you call it agitation, it's also right. We need to file for Esan state and break away. We should not allow that collar breaking any longer. It's an abuse to us. We should not allow anyone to say, don't let your seniority be in your land. If I come there, I am junior to you. Why I am there? You cannot live. It is completely abnormal, whether you choose to agree or not. You cannot leave your kingdom and go and place it. And it is this seniority that we're talking about, supremacy concept. It's only happening within Edo and Esan. It's only happening within Edo and Esan because we are the one that has just loose-guarded ourselves. We seem not to be talking. We seem to be playing along. If you don't want, as an Edo person, if you don't want to listen to my message and go to Edo community or Edo association and also raise these matters up to say, let us stop all this. Let us appropriate things. Then you think we are stupid people to follow such supremacy concepts. If you really mean well, you think you will be riding on us. If you mean well, if you really love unity, what I am saying now, you also have to listen. Or don't you have listening ears? Don't you have emotion to feel what people are feeling? Don't you have conscience? Don't you have listening ear, at least to listen to what this person or this group of people they are complaining about? Is there any person that spits away honey and sugar from his mouth? If you have conscience, you should think about this to say, if you were to be in their shoes, will you tolerate it? To say a gathering where your father that is an elderly man is sitting, just because there is one person that is from a particular language, and he is not as old as your father, he will be the one to break kola nut and pray. Will you tolerate it? You are asking if this is how I want to are you part, the South you're talking about, are you part of them? Are you part of us? Are you pursuing the affair of unity? Is it not the affair of disintegration you are pursuing? So you want to disintegrate from the Nigeria that you feel that they are not living well. So you want people to remain in a place as well with you where you are not equally living well, where you are not giving them their respect. So now you can't get sense pass. You are agitating for Great Benin Kingdom. You want Great Benin country. You want Benin to have their country. Why are you agitating for Great? Is it not because you don't feel comfortable any longer in the Nigeria? So when people don't feel comfortable in a unitary concept any longer, do they not have their right to voice out? And if you really mean well, if you are a natural person, aren't you supposed to listen to what these people are saying? Aren't you supposed to listen to what these people are saying? I am asking you, Uhunoma, will you allow anybody? Your father should, maybe for example, your father is the eldest person in that meeting, whether landlord and landlady's meeting. For example, your father is there as old as he is. Then one small boy that is not up to the age of your father, up to the age of your grandfather, because he is from a particular tribe, it qualifies him to break kola. That is symbolic to Africa. Even the Hausa people, Goro, which is called kola in English, Goro, is symbolic to the Hausa Fulani people. Not to talk of us. Then you will allow somebody, your father will sit down, and you know fully well that your father senior that man or that boy that is breaking kola to pray. So you will enjoy that kind of unity. Who are you talking to? You think you people are talking to fools? You cannot fool people continuously. Somebody must come out to expose the falsehood. If your man is tired, we should not allow that. Will you allow anybody to leave his kingdom and come to your kingdom and say, if he leave Yoruba land, he's senior. If he gets to another person land, he's also senior. Or in Africa, in the whole of Africa, if we want to check African history, don't you know that there are kingdoms that are existed before Benin Kingdom? That senior Benin Kingdom with thousands of years. Will they leave their kingdom to come to Benin and say, if they leave their kingdom, where this is established kingdom that are known, that exist, and when you talk about their history, they have aged farther than you. Will they leave their kingdom to come to your kingdom to say when they get to your kingdom they are sinning? You should check some things and say no. Etene onamaro. You don't put yourself into people's shoes. You only want people to be parading themselves as you, but you can never parade yourself as the people you want them to parade themselves as you. Now, let me ask you a question, Uhunoma. Will you tolerate it in your community where there is Ondiowere and there was uprising matter that rose up, and your just Ondiowere, not a king now, and this Ondiowere wrote an apology letter to the neighboring community to say this boy that came out to do such, we apologize, we did not send him. We are going to discipline him. And he wrote an apology. And you sent a police to go and arrest that boy. Without brushing in the Odionwere house first, to seek the consent of the Odionwere that already have a say in the matter that is out there. You just went there, disrespect the Odionwere, pick the boy, arrest the boy, and take him away. Will you tolerate that? If you can't give me a reasonable answer now, I will block you. You say a tree cannot make. What kind of talk is that? A tree cannot make a kingdom. What are you talking? How does that apply to the subject matter? How does that apply to the subject matter? Coming here to say a tree cannot make a forest. How does that apply to the subject matter? It does not apply to what we are discussing. This is not what we are insinuating. What are you talking about? I have asked you several questions that is as existing there, and it is only the Esan people that have subjected themselves to it. Will you allow anybody that is junior to your father to break kola nuts in the presence of your father and pray in a meeting that is summoned, and you know that your father is the most senior amidst them? What kind of culture is that? We Esan people, if that is your culture, we are saying no, we don't want to associate with that kind of culture any longer. That is what we are saying. We Esan people, we are demanding for apology letter right from the Oba Palace of Benin. Also, it is said in your Edo language that Adanegbe, Eikunakbe. That is what is said in your Edo proverbs. Ekenanati okban egbe okban amana danegbe ayokba. Where they have called, we've called ourselves one. We have to respect each other. How can you come to a kingdom, a whole kingdom? Do you know how painful it is? You just come to a whole kingdom where there is a king, and you are a stake in the palace. It's not that the palace have not heard what is going on. No apology letter. And you want us to continue. If I was parading the affair of unity before, if I continue that kind of unity, am I not a fool? Am I not supposed to break away from that unity? If I continue that kind of unity where my king is not respected, where my race is not elevated equal, and I will continue that unity, even if my juju they do me not go clear for my eye. Even if na juju they do me, not go clear. Even if na charm, not go clear for my eye. We are not supposed to associate ourselves with that kind of culture. The culture needs to be revoked. It needs to be revoked. Edo aro redo, odion edohin. Edo arivis edo, odion ehin sehe. Edo akisise san, Edo your John will tell Esan. Will you go and will you go and do that? Will you go to Hausa land to go and say if you get to Hausa land, you are senior there? Will you go to Yoruba land to go and say when you get to Yoruba land, you are senior there? Will you go to Ghana and go and play seniority there? When they have their highly respected king. It's not possible. So this is what is called supremacy concept. It's a concept of supremacy. To elevate a particular set of people over a particular group of people. And we will not subject ourselves to it. I am putting out my voice to our Esan people out there. And if you continue in it, you will see different fight is going to be happening. You cannot come to a gathering and say you want to break collar. If we say no, you can't break collar because we know that you are junior, heaven can never come to the ground. Heaven will not go jump ground. It's because we are keeping quiet, and we don't need to keep quiet any longer. We don't need to keep quiet any longer. It is abnormal. You know that it is abnormal. It is because we've been keeping quiet. And if we reject it, nothing will happen. So why are we allowing such barbaric culture that says that a junior have to lead in prayer? This in our church we did. If it can work like that, I dare you to go to Hausa land to go and do that. I dare you to go to Calabar. I will upload the video. I watched the visit of Oba Ewari II to Calabar. And I saw how the people prayed. It was the Calabarians there, their chiefs, that prayed. They were not looking for a dome man to pray for them. But if it is Esan, and you people will remember that you need to look for a dome man to come and pray. But there, if it is accepted elsewhere, we the Esan people, we are saying no. We are saying no. We are not Benin, we are Esans. We are Esans. Instead, you write, you know that we are Esans. Let's see. This is the supremacy concept I'm talking about. Why will you always say what if you say we are Esans? You want us to always see ourselves as Benin, but you don't want to see yourself as Esan. Change the writing, then we'll start reasoning with you. Why we are calling ourselves Benin, right? As you are expecting us to identify ourselves as Benin, we are equally expecting you to identify yourself as Esan. Yes. Because we are fed up with this supremacy concept. It will be sweet. Okay, it will be sweet when I see you identifying yourself as me. When I see you identifying yourself as me, then I will also be identifying myself as you. Ejida mu anura. We are not. Because I have been in this mission for long. But I have seen the way most of your people are responding. My inbox is full. Each time I want to speak on a subject matter where we need to look into, oh no. So from today, I want you to be identifying yourself as we are Esans. Because Esan, they are ancient people as well. the Benin did not in anywhere, in any place, give birth to Esan people. Did not be in anywhere give birth to Esan people. And Idu you're talking about, no one has monopoly to Idu to just lay claim on Idu to say they are the Idu. Idu shared along the southern part of Nigeria and some western side of Nigeria. There are people who have Idu ancestry, they are in the east. There are people who have Idu ancestry, they are in the west. There are people who have Idu ancestry, they are in that Benin. So you only don't have rights to Idu. Every one of us, we are ancient people. When we are into a unitary system, that unitary system, everybody needs to be respected equally. And the unitary system, nobody should be marginalized, no group should be marginalized in political affairs like the Esans has been longly marginalized. Nobody. So why should we be the only ones to be subjected to that kola nut? I have not seen anywhere in Afen mine where Afen my man will be looking for a Benin man to come and break kola nut in their meeting. In their meeting. You cannot identify yourself for yourself. You can't claim me. And if I say I don't want to follow you, you can't do otherwise. You only have to do what will make me follow you. That is it. You can't claim a people. You can't claim a people. Their life is not in your hands. Decisions is in their hands to make. And we are beginning to check into all these decisions. Identify yourself for yourself and stop it there. And stop it there. You can't claim us. We are not your subjects. Because enough is enough. You can't claim a people. You can't claim a people. A people rights is in their hands to make. So this is Esan focus. So as you've come to listen and you don't find it fascinating, you go away. You don't have to remain here because it's not. We're not discussing about you. We're only discussing about ourselves, where we need to adjust, where we need to look into, check it appropriately well again, and discontinue. In Warri Kingdom, the Urobo people identify themselves as Urobo. They don't want to associate with Ishakiri any longer. That is why they are agitating for Wado City. Everybody have rights to break away from any unity they feel is not fair to them. They feel it's not fair to them. So it's all about these subject matters. Let me block this guy, Unoma. It's all about these subject matters. Esan, we have to wake up because the letdown is too much. Not to wake up, to start engaging the people in a sagalicious way. I have not used any abusive words or disrespect any kingdom. No, that is not what we are doing now. And I want to set this record very straight because some of us, they are listening to those our brothers and sisters that are not up to 1% in numbers that are now piloting the affairs of Biafra. You cannot use Idu Biafra to coin us. We are not Biafrans. You cannot, because I said it the other time in my previous broadcast, you cannot, because of you are not comfortable in a particular group, and you say that group, you don't want it, you don't want to be there. You now also look for another group to join. A group where your language will never be taken into school. A group when they are seated in meeting, your language is not allowed to be used except Igbo language. A group that always want to dominate you. You cannot leave a place where you claim they are dominating you and you jump to another place where you'll be dominated. Everybody have a stake, everybody have an identity to preserve and to continue. We can continue with our Esan identity. There are a lot of countries that is not as big as Esan states in Europe and outside Europe. So we must not always look for where to hook ourselves to. And I have said before, nobody will be able to turn us into Biafra. Nobody will be able to turn us into Biafra. Nobody. We are not Biafra and we can never be Biafra. There is no such as Idu Biafra. Biafra is alien to us. Biafra is alien to us. So those people that are telling you that it's Biafra that own Idu, maybe they have their own interest, their own personal interest. Nobody has monopoly to it. Nobody owns Idu. You might share ancestry from Idu. It does not mean that you are the owner of Idu only. Listen carefully. You might share from Idu ancestry as well. It does not mean that you are the owner of Idu. Let me tell you, I introduced myself earlier before now. And I told you that I'm from Ugboa. I'm from Idunido. I'm from Idunido in Ugboa. Idunido so waha. Hello. Good evening. Please, I'm online. I'll call you later. I'm very busy online. I'm on live broadcast. So who now have monopoly to Idu? I have introduced myself to when you get to Igboa, look for the people of Idunudo. The Owaha people. The great Ugboa. So tomorrow now, I will not say we are the owner of Idu. I will not lay claim to Idu only. Like I hear some of our own, one of our own, so to say, not some, because some looks many. One of our own saying online that the Igbos are the owner of Idu. That is erroneous. If you have your own personal interest, don't drag the whole Esan into it. Idu mudo mehi. Idu mudo so wa. So did you get that? So look at it now. Did you see? Nobody can lay claim, not even the Edos can come out and say they are use the Idu. Never, nobody can lay claim on Idu. Everybody has stake in Idu. Idu mudo me la vai. Ugboa. So when you hear these Biafra pendulums coming to tell you that Esan people are Biafra, is erroneous, it's not correct. It's not correct. You cannot be fighting a struggle to say you are arts. Everybody have claim to ancestors. Ancestors is not for you only, because our ancestors did not give birth to you only. If I call unto my father, he will hear my voice, just as if my sibling call unto my father, he will hear their voice, because he gave birth to them as he gave birth to me. So those of you that are coming out to say ancestors send you, ancestors send you, you cannot lay claim to ancestors only, because you were not the only one that our ancestors gave birth to. You cannot drag us in the name of ancestors to say it's ancestors that is telling you to come and tell us that we are Biafra. It's a lie. Osan oje, esan oje, ma Biafra, ma bon. If you are out for the interest of the development of Esan, the interest of the industrialization of Esan, the interest of bringing about the respect of Esan, it is quite different. Every time we want to say Esan is from history, you first of all say Esan is this. Now you are saying Esan is Biafra. What of those people if you say they are Esans? Can't they be Esanized also? Must we continue to be Beninized? Must we continue to be Igbonized or Biafranized? We have to think about it. Everybody have to be given their respect. It does not mean that Akinwegbe Magboto Nagmo Agbon. For example, Nagreyo may be Gelegele Biafra de Vai, or that Vai Manesan Biafra Makihi. Do you think that all our king we have seen? Do you think Esan language, if you sit in the meeting or you go and be speaking Esan language where the Igbo is? If you don't think this is important now, keep it to yourself. It is important to us. If you don't think it's important, keep it to yourself. It's not important to robots. It's not important to you. It's very, very much important to us. So we don't need it to be important to you before we know what we have to do. Before we know what we have to do. So what you think and what you don't think have nothing to do with us. What you think ought to end in your mind and end in your circle. We cannot continue in a concept whereby my father that is older than you, just because you are a Benin boy, you will come and be praying, breaking collar, and be praying where he is. Who does that? We cannot continue in that concept. And I am lending out my voice to our people for them to open their eyes. And all we have to do is not to be done on Facebook media. You are just seeing only me here. You don't know all the Esan's sons and daughters that are out there. All the agendas on ground, you don't know them. So it's not what we put. We are only here to rightly sensitize our Esan people. For us to disassociate ourselves and dash away from that kind of culture we dashed away before. We dashed away from that kind of hardening proclamation by a Benin man as well. And being that this kind of thing is recontinuing itself, we have to dash away from this kind of culture, dash away from this kind of unity. That kind of culture. Yes, it's also an order. The order that was proclaimed that no bath for 3 years, no bath, no sexual intercourse, whether you are married or not for 3 years, no food. It was an order. If we kept mute, it would turn into a culture. If we did not dash away, Madasan Mwakmano, They twist the history, they say Esan Nisan Nauha. That is how they used to describe us till date. And these words are not changing. Esan Nisan Kweke. As in, we did not have home to go, we did not have kingdom to go. Esan Nisan Nauha. Can you imagine that? A Donama Zese or Esan. Can you imagine that? If you see snake, you see Esan man, kill the Esan man before you kill. Can you imagine all that? And they want you to continue in that kind of order. Who gave that kind of order? Who are you to give us that kind of order? We are the one that is neglecting ourselves into that kind of order. What kind of order is that? You keep your orders to yourself. The unity is only favoring them, where they continue to parade themselves as most relevant. Nobody give that kind of order. And if any person gives that kind of order, wise people should not subject themselves to that kind of order. You need to disassociate, you need to discontinue, and you need to dash away from that order. We have a whole lot of bastardizing word against us. That is part and parcel of your proverbs in Edo. Do we have any in Esan? That is proverbs. Esan Esan Laha. Edunama Zese or Esan. Or Amieyama Muresan. Who does that? Who see a snake and first of all kill his child before he killed the snake? Nobody does that. You cannot see a snake and your child is standing, the one that you claim is your child. You have to first of all kill that your child. Is that not a clear indication that this person that is saying that is the one that gave birth to you, is not the one that gave birth to you? He's only using that word for you to continue to be under his subject. How can you have more than 3 bastardizing words against the people that is in your proverbs? And the people will be hearing that, and you think their stomach will be sweating. And you are not seeing any reason to call for an order for such. To call it a taboo, anybody who uses that kind of word again should be banished. I think if it is the Esan people that is having it in their proverbs and it still continues to these days, an order should have been given from the palace of Benin by now to say anybody who say it again is under a curse. It is being said and it is being operated on. It is being said, it's being operated on. It is being said, it's being operated on. That is why they will have the guts, just a person that has a stake in the palace. We have the guts to leave Benin and come to Esan and to come and arrest Esan's son without the approval of the king in that kingdom. Is that not disrespect? Who does that? And you want us to continue to subject ourselves to say we are enjoying this kind of so-called unity. So my people, I don't know, my host is supposed to be here, but I don't know what happens. I don't know. Mr. Vincent, I don't know if you're still here. I don't know what happened to your... And somebody requested that he wants to come up. Mr. Vincent, I don't know if you're still here. I don't think so. Now you check it now. First of all, before you come and condemn me, I think you have to ask yourself. Let me block this one. I like blocking people down. I think you have to ask yourself to say, if it's your father, just ask yourself before you condemn me. Ask yourself and be fair to your conscience, except you don't have conscience. Ask yourself, I'm going to give you a series of shoes you have to put your legs into the shoes to see if you will feel comfortable in the shoe. Ask yourself if you will enjoy it. If your father, I'm saying your father or your grandfather, go or is in a gathering meeting where he is the most senior, the most elderly person amidst all the people that are present in that meeting, and he is the most senior, the most elderly person, and just because there is one person that comes from one group of language and that person is not up to his age, he will break kola nut and he will be praying where your father that is elderly man is. Will you be happy within your stomach? Put your leg in that shoe. If you will feel comfortable in the shoe. Maybe you don't have leg. Use your conscience. Then maybe you don't have conscience. Then you don't need to be listened to. You don't need to be listening to. Ask yourself this one. If it is said that Edoni San Laha, and it is continuing, it is a Proverbs, and we know in history that it was a hardened and wicked proclamation that made the Esan to dash away. When they dashed away, they did not dash and go and be living inside the bush. They went to the various kingdoms you are seeing in Esan today. The 35 kingdoms, they went there. They did not dash into the forests. But you turn it into a Proverbs and say Esan Esan Laha. If it's a Proverbs in the other way around that is saying Edoni Esan Laha, and you people always say it now, but nothing is wrong with it. If the Proverbs is going by the other way around to say Edoni Esan Laha, will you enjoy it? Oh, will you look away from? Will you turn blind eyes? Will you feel comfortable? Check your conscience, except you don't have conscience. Put your legs in that shoe to see if you will feel comfortable in the shoe, except you don't have legs. And if you don't have any of this, then you don't need to be listening to. Also ask yourself this question. If it is a proverb that is said, it's not a proverbs in Esan adage that is said that when you see snake and you see a Edo man, first of all, kill the Edo man first before you kill the Esan man. Will you enjoy it? Thank you, my brother. Even in Americans, they are fighting for equal rights. I am asking this brother that is asking me to go and look for a job. I am not asking him because you, my people, don't get yourself engaged in job that will take you away from reality. You need to get yourself engaged with jobs that you will be able to sacrifice time out of that your busy schedule to attend to things that concerns your people and that concerns your family, that concerns your land. That concerns your land. I've asked him all these questions. He's not able to answer because within his conscience, he knows that this young man is just saying the truth. Ask yourself this question. If it is the Esan people that is having it in their proverbs, which says if you see the Edo person and you see snake, first of all, kill the Edo person first. Which says Edoni San Laha. We say Edonama Zesi or Esanama Zesi or Edo. Or you people used to say that Edonama Zesi or Esan, as in the language we know where they don't speak well. The Edo language they don't speak well. Now, do you see how they are bastardizing the Esan people? And they are not seeing any reason to castigate this, to put a decree on it, to come out on behalf of the Esan people to say, no, we are not going to tolerate this any longer. They are not seeing any reason with it. Ask yourself again, that ever since people has been using foul languages on the Yoruba Palace and the Yoruba of Benin, how many of those people, kings, has come out to tender an apology letter? A king. None of them. Ask yourself, was it Joker Boy that started saying what he said? Where did he learn all he said from? He learned it from the fellow Edo people. And when he said it, what did the Esan people do? Because Esan people that are also using some social media, they came on board to condemn Joka Boy, majority of them. And the king in Esan came out and tendered an apology letter. I am saying this repeatedly because you just came. I want you to listen to me adequately, attentively. And somebody inside the palace who have a stake in the palace of Oba Benin came on board to come and arrest, left a kingdom to another kingdom where there is a king. Went there to go and arrest without going to take permission from the palace of Benin. Will that be tolerated in your community where there is no king? Just maybe you have only Odionwere there. And the Odionwere have already spoken into the matter to say, I condemn it. And he wrote letter out. And later on, you rise again to go and arrest his son in his community without even branching his house, the Odionwere house, the Odionwere chamber, and listening to what Odionwere will say. He just dashed in there and took him away with police because of your arrogance, because you feel that these people, they are less important, because you feel that these people, they are your junior, who want to subject themselves to that kind of Okbamahin concept. Oh, bro, ask yourself, please. No Egbeweri. Ask yourself again, who enjoy moving away from place where there is equal rights, where everybody are rated equally, except the person is mad. So you should be able to see where the people are pained. And if you are not giving heed to where the people are pained, it means you are fraudulent. Manipulating people with Okbamahin. Manipulating people with influence. Monarchical political influence. Subjecting them to where they are not respected. We demand respect. We demand apology. All this word, we demand it to be revoked. We demand it to be revoked. Will you enjoy it when an Hausa man leave his kingdom, where he is senior in his kingdom? Because every aboriginals ought to be seniors in their land. When you live there to another man's kingdom, you are no longer senior to them. So ask yourself, if anybody leave his kingdom to Benin and come and play seniority concept, to say he is senior, they talk and they sweet for man, but do you even reason it? Are there no kingdom in Africa that has aged more than a Benin kingdom? Will they leave their kingdom and come and tell you that if they leave Egypt, they are senior? When they come to Benin, they are senior. If they leave Morocco, they are senior. When they come to Benin, they are senior. It does not work that way. It does not work that way. So when you see a people trying to pilot the affair of unity, and these people, they are being disrespected, don't you think the people will turn back and say, no, I don't want to do it again? Don't you think the people have rights to discontinue that kind of unitary system? Please, I want you to reason with me. So my people, I thank you all. I thank you all. For those of us that is just following, that are just following this page, those Esan sons and daughters, look at the like button and the follow button. Click on the follow button so that you will always have notification each time we are on live. There is a lot that we are going to be with. This is just maybe some words, some things, some points we just need to point out. But outside this, there is a lot. The Esan people that are members and leaders of Esan Focus Association, there is a lot we are going to be doing. Click on the follow button as well. Although it's not all that we are going to be doing that will be seen on Facebook. And there are some necessary areas where we need to bring on board on Facebook, social media, so that you will be aware, at least you'll be aware about that, then we'll bring them out. But there are a lot more that you will not get to know. So after you follow the page, you press the follow button and follow, and then if you also deem it fit to be part and parcel of the movement Esan Focus Association, you also call the number that is there. We have our WhatsApp number there. Call the number. You can call on WhatsApp. You can call direct, and then also request to be part and parcel of us in the movement. We already have the speaker. We have our women leader. We also have our grant coordinator. These are reputable persons. So we need more Esan sons and daughters to come on board in this movement. It does not mean that if there are other Esan forums there, those forums are not also active. You cannot view the moon from one place. I need your so you cannot view the moon from one place. There are the moon, you can view the moon from different angle. So if you know, ajo ashi ago 90 uromia de lena, or you do la diori ango 90 o de bunirio na de fiore ango 90 uromi. So there are many roads that lead to a particular destination. This is to say, we can all harmonize and then share ideas together, ideas of the interest of Esan land, ideas of making sure we say no to what is not supposed to be, what is not supposed to be tolerated. We, the Esan people, we are mighty people. We are mighty people. I tell you, we are mighty people. It's just that we overlook some things, we ignore some things. If Urokbota, the person who is called Urokbota, was able to live with all his mystical powers, with all his defense power, spiritually and physically, to Benin, and he was honored, and that place that is so much symbolic to the Benin kingdom today was issued to him as his quarter, which is now called Urokbota Hall. That place is a man, that was where he sat. He was dishing out his power and protecting the Benin kingdoms and all with all his power. You understand? So he left Esan land to Benin to come and put his power to work in the defense of the. If we have people of that, if we have someone like Anthony Nahoro, in the whole of Africa, he was the one that was the person who stood up with all tenacity and with all doggedness, irrespective of the colonial dictations, the colonial hardship. He pushed for the independence that every one of us in that Nigeria today we are enjoying. So if we have people like this that are not merely recited in history, we need to start looking at, when the people start writing your history for you, they will write the history in a way that you will be their subjects. Everywhere on planet Earth, within human community, when a people write history for you, be the ones that are writing major part of your history. They will write the history in a way you will be their subjects. You understand? So we, the Esan people, we must not stop in taking our history to the 11th century, and we must not stop at tracing our history to ages and that manner. Then with that event that led to Esan, we'll say that is where Esan began. No, We have been existing thousands of years before the word Esan came on board. So we need to trace our history. We need to psychologically, you need to be able to assess things and know how it all came on board. You understand? There are always the people who say, okay, let us coexist in this kingdom. And they agree. They say, okay, this person can become a king. And everybody, they are working together. And on the long run, because of that, that is influence. Because of that, those some persons will use that influence against everybody. And it will not look like as if they are the one that gave birth to you. Meanwhile, they are not the one that gave birth to you. You are a unique people, they are unique people. You might share the same ancestry. Who can come out to say he's the one that gave birth to his own brother? And the people that call you your brother, they also call you their conquest. Do anyone call his brother his conquest? Do anyone call his brother his conquest? If you conquer a people, it's a clear indication. That is if you even conquer them. If you conquer a people, it's a clear indication that you only invaded, conquered them. It does not mean that you are the same people. It's there. I'm speaking from history that they wrote down what they call history. So if you and your brother, you start telling that you are the one that gave birth to your brother, even if your father is no more, your parents they are no more, and maybe because of one role you play in the family, you always call your siblings my children. Literally, they are not your children. You are not the one that gave birth to them biologically. Literally, they are not your children. It's just a figure of speech. So we should think very, very smart and very, very sharp for us not to accept such narrative any longer. But that does not mean that unity cannot continue. Unity can continue, but not in a way where not in a way where you are relegated. This person is saying you don't trust Agbe. Why do you need to trust me? When you say trust, did you give me something to keep? Am I working for you in the first place? You use languages, you don't know the meaning of the languages you're using. You can only use the word as trust to say, I don't trust that person. If there is something that belongs to you that is in that person's possession. So when you say you don't, I don't understand what you mean. Okay, you don't trust me before. Okay, you think I am apt to continue to stupidly humble myself to a concept, a unity concept that devaluates me. That tells me that if my father, who is older than you, is in a meeting, you will be the one to break collar because you are from a Benin. And my father is far, far older than you, or even if a day older than you, and you are younger, you are younger in that meeting. This is what we are talking about. It's not about trust. Let me tell you, Felicia, let me tell you something. If you see people that were aggressively pushing for unity, and you now see them doing otherwise, you have to ask, what happened? You people should be wise. You cannot force a people. You cannot claim a people. A people are always there to make decisions for themselves. You people should be wise. If you are a wise person, if you are somebody that really loves people, that has always been out there, when you see them otherwise, you should be asking what happened or what is happening. What is it? You are not asking because you have been in a way indoctrinated and prepared that these particular people must be your subject. They will continue to be your subjects. You don't ask what happened. You don't ask what is the problem. You don't try to bring listening ear to listen to what the people are saying. You just jump up like frog to say you don't trust this Agbe, like as if your property is given to me to be kept in my possession. When you use the word you don't trust this Agbe, it's what do you mean? You have to ask yourself why you are. Where is the word trust coming in from? Are you more important than me? Is the Edo more important than the Esan? That is what you have to ask. Are you more important than me? For me to always, the work that I've done in quest of unity, there is nobody out there that has done it. In short, people learned from me. Was I paid? Was that endorsed? But when I come to realize that you're taking us for a ride. There are some culture that the Esan people don't have to continue in. So that I am here for my people. I'm not here for you. I am not in any way angry, but I am completely angry about my people. I am completely angry about my people because we have overlooked things. Did I use any word against you? No, I'm just telling my people where we need to stand up and reject. Where we need to stand up and if you check the broadcast from beginning to the end, there is never a time where I have used any foul languages against you or used bad words against you. No, I am only telling my people, our Esan people, that we should not continue in this kind of unitary concept any longer. It's only the Esan people that we are the one that is even championing this unity. It's not others. It's not others. You can't go to any place in that Benin city to say you want to go and break cola in any other place. It is only the essence. So why should we allow that kind of, even if it happens elsewhere, it's not correct for a junior to break cola and pray in a gathering where there is elderly people that are older than him. It is not correct. It does not happen. The Oba of Benin went to Calabar. I saw the Calabarians, they pray. Was it the Edo people? Did they solicit for Edo person to come and break cola because it's an Edo man? Or did the Edo person come stand up and say, no, they will be the people to break cola? You are seeing Esan Focus Association page. You are asking if I'm here for Esan people. So we need to go away from this kind of concept. And there is nothing wrong if it leads to dividing the state. It will even help that region. It will even help that region. But it should not be because of this reason we are even heading into dividing the state. Go Cameroon, go break cola. Go Cameroon, go break cola. If you break cola for Cameroon, that one means everybody must be stupid. If you break cola for Cameroon, you cannot say if you leave your place you are senior, and if you get to another place you are still senior. Your seniority ends in your kingdom, and my seniority ends in my kingdom. So that is it. That is it, my people. So this is always, there are a lot of people that are listening to this now and they know that what I'm saying is true, even if they are not Esan persons, even if they are not Edo persons. They are listening and this message will still get to them. What is it called? Morally, if you check it, it's not correct. It's not correct and it cannot be tolerated continuously, and it should not be tolerated continuously. Which junior? You not be junior. Won't you allow yourself to be junior? Must a group of people be junior to you? Where is the father and mother that gave birth to them? Show us the history that said that there are particular parents that gave birth to a people. and call you people senior and call them junior. It's not there. Those are just erroneous history to continue to subject a people as less relevant people. You mean senior? Senior only when Esan man, for any reason, cultural reason, for example, or event, or marriage, leave his community to your community, you can call him junior, not someone who is older than you in your age, with age. Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't make sense. Not someone who is older than you. It does not make sense for you to say Donama Zesle or Esan. It does not make sense for you to say Esan Lavha, because there is no history out there. When the Esan people dashed away, just as we are still going to dash away from that Edo state. When the Esan people dashed away, they did not jump into the bush like you say. They went to all these kingdoms, 35 kingdoms out there in Esan land, and tidying their land and started residing there. It does not make sense for you to say, kill an Esan man before you kill snake. These are all where we are looking. It does not make sense for you to leave the palace, you have a stake in the palace, and you come and arrest somebody in Uromi without the consent of the king in that land. Does it happen anywhere? Matter that is outside, and the king already have a word inside the matter, even issue an apology letter on behalf of the boy, and you came to arrest the boy without entering the palace to take permission. Does it happen anywhere? Is it not because people have seen us finish? It is because we are the one that led ourselves to that kind of unity concept. So that is it, my people. So it's about us, our Esan people. It's not about them. Let me quickly block this one now, because I've been seeing I've blocked her in all my page. She's so sorcery in her watch. I don't know, she's a small girl anyway. She has no manners. She has no manners. I've blocked her in all my page. Block her everywhere. Let me block her quickly. And I'll continue to block her. All right. Ask them if the Esan people are only the people that have link to them. As we have link to you, so you have link to us. You are the one that have link to us. We are not amplifying and using that as a concept. You are the one that have it in your greeting language to say, like Esan. You are the one. So we are not using that. I am not angry. I can never be angry. But I am angry now for my people. I'll be angry for my people. The very moment Curtis Ugbo left the palace, came to Esan land to come and arrest somebody without giving respect to the king, I'll be angry for my people. I'll be angry for my people when they keep mute and allow junior to be breaking collars in meeting where they are as senior. I'll be angry for them, not you. I have no reason to angry for you, about you. I'll be angry for my people who keep mute to all those kind of supremacy concepts. And every person that is in his right sense or her right sense have right to be angry for such. Because anger does not just come on its own. Anger is provoked, either knowingly or unknowingly. Anger is provoked, either knowingly or unknowingly. So I don't, why should I be angry about you? Do you know that my own mother is Edo? So that means I am even the right person. I am the right person for this job. Because I cannot speak against any of my people. But the truth must be adequately designed, emphasized. So you have to reason with me. You have to reason with me. So I cannot be against any of my people. Because I have stake in both sides. So you have to, do you get that now? But it is wrong. It is wrong. It is supremacy concepts. Don't allow supremacy concepts to flourish within a people. Don't allow disrespect. It is disrespect for you to come to Urumila to come and arrest somebody and the king is not aware. If it is normal or outside what the king has spoken about is normal, anybody can go and arrest. Not what concerns the king. Not a matter that the king has put his leg in, has interfered in that matter. Hmm? Not that. We can no longer tolerate that. In short, why can't you reason and say, what is making the Esan people to complain in this manner? You've looked at it that the Esan people are largely segregated against. They are largely marginalized. All the Edo governors that has come on board, what they do, they continue to repair road within Benin City. Are there no other city in Edo State? Uru may not be city. Ekpo may not be city. Have you ever seen them go there to go and do road and gutters and renovate schools? And you say the people should keep quiet. You say the people should keep quiet. You are no longer. If a people, I have repeatedly said it, if a people were together before and they are the one that were pushing ahead for the emancipation of unity, and they now see that you people are using that advantage on them, so you expect them to continue in it. And when you see a people that were so much active for the pursuit of unity, you now see them being angry, you now see them withdrawing. If you are in your right senses, don't you think you have to reach them individually, personally? If you are in your right senses, you are not in your right senses because you think we are your subjects. You are not in your right senses because you think we will always be there to be subjected to that kind of segregation. You are not in your right senses. You are not in your right senses to go to Esan King. I don't need to do. How many times have you go to Benin King to go and discuss this with the Benin King and tell him that this that they did to the Esan people is not correct? The person that came out to arrest Joker Boy without consulting the king, is he not always on social media asking people, am I your mates? Who are you? Is he not always on social media? Did he go and consult the king of Urumi before he arrested Joker Boy? You think now you get sense pass. Did he go and consult the king of Urumi? You are the one that always said it that When your father is insulted, you don't need to go and ask your father, should I do this, should I do that? First, before you start doing the right thing. It's in your Proverbs. When my father is insulted, so I have to go and be asking my father first, what will I say? What shall I do? When I know fully well that my father has been abused. Is it not an abuse? Is it not an abuse? For you to just leave and come and arrest somebody in Urum, it's not that it's a minor issue or it's an issue that does not concern the palace. It concerns the palace because the palace has written apology letter. You didn't even look at it to say, there is no king in that part of the world that love unity like this king who wrote apology letter as. All the people that has been using foul languages against the palace, how many of their king has come out to write an apology letter? So you didn't even see that to say this is even the reason you ought to respect people that disrespect to you first. You didn't see that. No, don't just hook on the Edo state government now. Don't hook there because that is grudge marginalization. We're just waiting for this election to come and let's see what will happen before we'll tell you who the Esan people are. Don't just hook there. All the places I have narrated, I want you to go there. All the places I have been narrating, I've been putting my mouth on, which is a taboo. Ordinarily, it's a taboo for you to come and be breaking collar, a junior to come and be praying. It's a taboo where the elderly people are. Don't just look for one place to know that, okay, this one favor you, now there you want to hang on. All the places I've emphasized on since, at least you have to condemn them. To say, okay, you've heard, you will go and talk to your people in Moruji. You say nobody is benefiting. Okay, like as if Benin City is Esan land, is Esan kingdom. Who is the Benin City? Who does it? Don't and go nighting and all those places in Rome. Is it not city? Have you ever seen governments, Edo State governments, going there to fix the road? Going there to fix only roads, not to talk of renovating schools. We have countless of schools that have been renovated. In Benin City. So you think we are stupid, we are not wise. We should continue like that. We're just waiting for this election that is coming. And let us see how they will play it. Then you will know that if the Esan people, you will be able to kill them first before you kill snake. You want to quickly jump into the government to say nobody. Who told you that nobody is benefiting from the government? So all the renovation that has been going on there in Benin City is not benefit. What has happened to Ewu Flour Mill? What has happened to the Uromi Cassava Mill? It's not worth putting to order. What has happened to gutters there in Esan land? It's not worth fixing by the Edo State government. So after we cast our vote to them, they will just come and end in Benin City. And you come here to come and tell us that nobody is benefiting from the present government and the past government. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. So my people, I thank you all for today. I thank you all for today. Next time, I know what to do next time. I'm going to look at comments, those ones that are very, very abusive, those ones that are not engaging. What we do, we block them so that we'll have time for ourselves. We'll have time for ourselves. So pass this message around, pass it around, and then if you're in Esan platform, wherever the platform are, pass it around. Even if you have, when I mean pass it around, bring these subject matters before them and let the message go viral. I have unleashed it. Nobody will be able to stop it. Angry face will not stop it. I have unleashed it. Pass it around. Go to all Esan's platform. It is a call, a clarion call on Esan people. It's not a call to hate others or to abuse others. It's a call for us to be awoken, for us to do the needful for ourselves. It's a call for us to do the needful for ourselves. This is the call. I am pleading on every well-meaning Esan sons and daughters out there worldwide. Take this message to them, all the group you belong. Take this message to them. We should not continue. We should see every reason to begin to sit together behind closed doors. Behind closed door, to question ourselves, to call ourselves to order. It's about us. To call ourselves to others. Is a clarion call on all Esan sons and daughters. This is my message from Aigbe Ebudari. We need to be awoken. We are the one that do ourselves. So in this now, we need to be awoken. We need to call ourselves to order by rightly sensitizing ourselves. Areas where we have loose-guarded ourselves, we need to talk to ourselves. No need to be saying Eluania. Beze le da sabo Luania. Beze le da sabo Luania. Eni ma fere. Ma unya wo beze ne da sabo remare gbo to asenia. If you want to join me on this live video, you can join me. I only admit Esan persons. Please. Where are you from in Esan? Are you from Esan? Eno, Gia. Are you from Esan? If you don't want me to block you, don't use abusive words. I am only expressing myself. If you use abusive words on me, I will not leave you here. You are the one that lose. So you're supposed to be here completely and be listening to me, and you will engage me intelligently. Don't be like the Biafrans you are condemning. Because when you speak truth to them, anybody that abuses you when you are speaking, it's not that you are abusing the person. You are only expressing yourself. If the person is abusing you, it's because he does not want the truth to be out. And don't leave those kind of people in your space. Iwoke-san, don't leave them in your space. Anybody, when you are speaking, expressing yourself in any way you choose to express yourself, in as much you are not abusing, you are not using foul languages. And just because you are expressing yourself, where you feel you've been cheated, you are expressing yourself. For these persons to come on board and engage you intelligently, what they do, they abuse you. They come and tell you that you are on drug. So those kind of persons, you block them. So that is why I want to block this guy now. Okay, Eno G, Eduardo via Esan. Since you are from Esan, please send me, let me see how I can bring you online now. Let me look for your name. Sometimes if you are not friends, oh, I can't find you here. If you're not friends with people on Facebook, you hardly get them. Just a moment, please. Let me see if I'll be able to bring you up. Shit, man. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to. Okay, send me requests to bring you up. Click on the request button beneathly. A or J. Click on the request button beneathly. These two frame. These two frame there that looks like frame, that look like photo frame, is two, is lapping on each other. Click on it, I will get you from there. Yes, I've heard you, Oyoren. Was your Esan? So the only way I'll be able to bring you in now, you click, you look beneathly, you see two photo frames. It's like photo frame is a symbol. You see this icon, it's like photo frame. It's lapping upon each other. Click on it, and it will give me notification to bring you in. Click on it again, please. Okay. Oh, shit.
Greetings.
Waiting.
We are back before it.
Before abortion.
Mama, my boy. Hello.
Yes, please. No,
okay. Before it. So, blood Mary, we understand. That day, me what I write to it. We understand the mechanic. So, Mary Jamie money.
Okay.
Mechanic Jamie money. Because, you know, everywhere, me what I like. So, but my time, every summer, about it, go to local government. So, you could just say, Billy, every kimi, every so, maybe, Ekbo my working. So, you know, where no lack of understanding. So, that the medical never can join you know, man. Even well now, okay, my what time I wear that the new way as a woman, where we has a pidgin English, whether I miss or when my commenting next there, understanding.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
or the album is so no year where I will walk about Garo Bonoriana Wodiki. Or you may really are watching exact gas in your book. No, a warrior going on Mary. Also, Mary Trameri the Bower because book what out the history. It's a ribbon me as a can, it's a ribbon me can. When meta mine and the any program or some or just walk back. Now the time was so Nemavi and Bama were here. I was so Nemi UYB Nemavi my mare logo toy bare year be mare bare do as room of some year and over your nokba in bare mere equatinary mona no the other way la ukbo na be gbero we to sema e be mare do alu baro dike ye we agyo ege na masara mi independence bi ere be aka he mama e ba ye mi ofo ado ahe mama no ilo just pe neni ipi sen de bare na o to mai wa yi o ke ba no
Oh, aba.
me a me do as a bobi mania o me a me do as a bobi
I worry. Me amira no sabo zesario no o azoisha o generio.
So I was so near nigga maybe my name so we sabi me videos me actually you know get on myself. And Esan so we are going to just abbreviator and the page no man my full normal page any name make me so make sorry
problem.
So I was me any method from this. So I'm a do love it. I'm a do change my father and my son's name. Near do change it to this. This is my page here.
Okay. Okay.
This is my page here.
Okay. Okay, man, okay, so, yes. Me one time like that video.
Definitely.
Yes.
So I've had you can see my little follower.
Yes. Now I've been able to recognize you.
Actually, not get almost say. So on them in an anytime I me education because may I so may I dagoria no will level my worry maybe may we your bona. Because maybe your bona maybe like you I share the video. And then or when the Pamela video okay this Ovio why not be ball. Judo John Igaro. Me lui video ya. Ovio why na. Ekpo mara ware. Abari ne no ekpo mara ware. Ayo biowe ko. Ori ko. Den odo awe alu somebody do lo we do kyo well. Ovio me kere ni wo yo alu. Eja bai wi ne no la ware. Awo ze ni bo. Ne it have it at least I won't wafia. A corner where you are with me, Korodu alone is richer than the Esan, the entire district. Only Korodu alone. And I mean, I want make sense. We understand. And well, oftentimes they will send me my video, not my background, they may have my video. You understand? So, in my lesson, I will divide a year. Isori agogo na mero. Valu ni waruwa. Yeah, he said, what's up? Vanessa, egivare aye valu ni waruwa. We are sonary over bonyo, or want to tell me cool, or David now, or David now, or David now. I want with me who are Taiwan. Okay, Bano. Eboke na runi ibara ni bege igweben dia. Where the government he uromi. Spacing no separate time without the akhiri. We understand it. Okay, tena mi ebara mi a developing the whole local government the way we send we. I don't cook with that is. Where my border you. Transport we are running transport. Man, you when now what am I call, you know. Kere. And then I'm maybe at tabu obi uromi. Oyo kana ila kutoro minya we made a million more to me in our yearly. Oya to toro me over 5 million more 3 million. In 9 men, I want in that time. The truth, madam, I want in that time. But Otto suppose you for 500, so they're no more at time. You know? No more at the
about me man your time. Your when where van when we are wo on your time no say mo so rivorio ni ma talo ekowa ma ta ekowa eso rivo aki mo dogelere aki mo dogelere ne iwo ke san rele gbigbe le di media eki anwa yo okay ona diavirio oni ma diavirio e so rivorio oni zele imada kobo gbe akia association nare taonisan oyi eki social media because ibo ke san ma vero my mama school, my name we are telling even alternate those states in need Jonah fair again. Mambo bo say ye school ne.
School.
And then Igo mase yeme igo. A kugbe ni ke ni mare fere. Ma ki folere ejima ejada muwanu aki folere na ude ma mo bo shiolere ada mion afo linia. Ma
Okay.
enon me
Sorry. What try what I take a call. One of your bar, you also want to be called. Or cut the way we are in number. Whatever we are.
okay. Me, I don't know. Okay, me gwale.
Well, it was up number yourself. You
Me
so
allo le
that
fonia. Me allo le phone next program. Ma o maki will next program.
yeah.
Another series on this one. Another series 2. The same topics matter. Say also you know. So on me make it create a WhatsApp number. And
Yeah.
me call. So but for now. Nare mwina kugbe ọma genia oyi aki na ejada mu malu ejada mu malu e sori warrior ma nana dokire ni malunia then ejima na doloto esanji ramude afima àwọn kàwọn àwọ afim ada afima ada zewa ball ni
Emma no.
culture history no sema okay ke mame historian ni wa bungbe maki tielo dotwa maki jo na fonare raude history no sema ni mame nia history ne iwo ke do gbena oleno and a historian sema ekido af history ne do gbedo kire ki ro re agbe ni history no sema Malemi oria miss history no senie oki gbon the way no re favor or no re elevate gbon than you so any dan rewe maki fiolere then on the election of vadena maki mama si egbe koko a miekuo ada mio jore okay election ni se ada fiesa ehoa ehoa so saubo then the age ma dollar re age ma focus je then maki sone oyi su gbe oyi su mu o na re dole gbe ma ji na re hire gbe ole no so ole ra and then the most important thing when your material was yekin many material mekin we so ribori or material rekin ma va
Yeah.
ma do kwe enwa kugbe ma kobo
Yeah.
kugbe ma re alona because me oya rege sometimes in ya maybe oya rege da me gbe Facebook in ya but a arrive organization in ma ke and ma chujia aki feke azilore ni aki agole aki deda ni age on Edo State bere loreje eda lo osiku oyis osu gbe oyosu maki feke ma
Innocent
lo
Smith. Ori Agman was so where we are a little big man. Innocent Smith, I worry a big deal about that. Or that create a WhatsApp page in Fiobo so that or Yako no Yako. Ori Asamba make a contribution of but guy na or some that WhatsApp number master creator one on the program all damn okay. So relax or a key or Yako. Well, that's about tower. But where I am a boo at time, what's about your good message you get personally with the messaging possible money? Or what's out your comment? But my comments, so what you had a live video, what's about it, all the comments. So what's about in boss of personally? So, whatever. First, get everyone what about you?
me Germany me can for the past 6 years
Okay.
send am me da the Italy
Okay.
so
Bye.
me da the Italy so in the Kelly ade Tony
No comment.
Italy message
Yeah. Name girls, because the go for Korea, name. Where we are, so where we are, will no say one fear way that I will. Where we are, will no say.
Io na se wa me hu ni mere mu he io esa
No,
focus ira
or yeah, locally, or are the background, or to, no, the bar.
Okay. Where are Vaenia, where Kilema Pipio innocent?
I worry. Now listen, me wo be na mi na na big me this above I say even na roy or your even the one na roy you
But
know.
where now you want the phone ya aki lead beta on the program na ma da close even na aki lead beta.
Yeah.
So when you where do the bawa when you where do the bawa so that me na mi jana mama wina no sin na mi jana mama wina.
Ani ye mi so you know ani ye mi so akpa ni eye nara mogbe we nara lo na wo no se ma me no na wo sam
Gene joie na gene fio ege ma mo gbe ma fia bezen me da tario ewi soriwo no ma keke na re age na re aki agole aki oki mama asunu oki asunu ewi no ma dia no okay ebi me do twa na arrivi meeting then ahia liron Oria no na bame join. Iran ude do oda vai oki tenve mu oki vale oki areve ni ron. And me vade o abale no hwa really ni o mama o jion we ni. O enemi na wa gba. Eba cho spiritual or me spiritual implication. Spiritually ma si egbe ma koto ni obe kohun ni mania on spiritual implication so eni obia ba oke ke marejo eje iraude o tresan pa o iko na kolo no esa arele ni o dasunu iwo ken do ari wota uchi elu ole venirio arrivi Calabar elu ole veni amobo alo erio veni so mama alo veni onwa gba mama ya eka na fiolege mare mevade need na re agbin letter g one person like that ma fiolege ma stop point ma kijo age o aso to mama or madam arrivi ko ato madam jo eje o ya vele na okun ya de gbuto aya mi o van aya mi gbe okun ya ma to bon wa ze zonie ni o borio o surely other mama sunurio and me ere mi wa fo emi no wa gba no we si wo te edore we di o wo te san we do gwori ari we do re police re gwori ari and me ezono sunu emi no sunu no re si wote dore uda diogo to esa uda do gwori ari onoje no rile ni onoje surumi ota owe no nefo we ki de da ni re we wan so si so noje we do joy zaiki wa to wa khali remi no rema vai no u vai rio do gwori ari mani wo ke samada yiyan beki sunu ni ma wi awo ogo amobo mie okay rolemia eri soriworio nisumuto edo oba taowo iwo edo mama dokere ekijo eje enwa gwalo enia okay ebi me whisk batioli this cross dresser Bobrisky oba betawo obe iwo edo rewe eda koko dagbare eda jo lai gbegbe àwọn agwalorio ọ̀rá yìí wó kẹsàn mákìnyìn yẹnyẹnyẹ so ọmọ akẹ́kẹ́ ní mare mọ̀já máa ṣe ókè nọ́nọ́ jẹ́ vaifó nọ́dọ̀ ta ọwọ́ fó adá àwọn ebi náà wọ́n gbà máa lẹ́ni ọ̀nà ibi náà wọ́n gbà máa ní wó kẹsàn rèé gbègbè ọ̀kẹ́kẹ́ mare jọ èjè àwọn àgbà lọ́rì ọ̀ so ọ̀lẹ́ rẹ̀mẹ̀rẹ̀ dòkèrè ẹlẹ́nà ni.
Ok mẹ́jà gẹ̀tàbọ̀ wẹ́n imaneso ọmọ ẹbí màdẹ adọlàwẹ mọ gẹlà ẹni wọ zàgẹsàn One medania. Beres Alisa Yana. Where me Uromi, Ovia Romania.
On the
And
music in your distracting on the background.
okay.
Uh-huh.
And in the way, big maybe Varinia. Oh, yes, man. So I tell you, get away some. Anybody bonare me some as a bow when medania. Big you a term or banya. A dome 7 local government. Oba, only Oba matter most no cover that 7 local government. Imagine having some my 5 local government. I cut that 5 local government. My more than 60 ogie. Listen, webele. My more
But
than
maman
60 ogie.
quand Dieu sait s'en rêver. Maman quand Dieu sait s'en rêver.
So,
Mhm.
Randoni, Urumia, Wiminia, I don't buy. Ekpo malu, I don't buy. Oh, one metama when Iru alu, I don't buy. Ubia jalu, Guad malu, my side yalu. So, even yes, so ribbon of Indian or Zagi. I will beg yes, and Diana, maybe I'm a Giopanian of it, Jabo, Bana, walk over. Even yes,
Maman,
so,
maman laissait non. Il va de où il y a pas. Maman laissait oh les non. Maman quand Dieu sait s'en rêver. I never be coming hopeful because I left for one at Mona. Man, we be mafia. I want to say already problem. Man, my brother. Okaije, Okaoje say sans rêver. Man, we will toy san. And then me katamae jorinia. Elie so rivorio ni madari jo eni na wa tia. Eki organization on mana na oye na. So onike. So
okay.
I reckon now in 2000 oje wo toy san. Plus inoa. Esan marewehi. And then masere ye me okaije se sanrewe. That is it. Okay, for example, maybe status maji, for example. Okaije se sanrewe. Oma de ansarebotu. And then on those
Yes.
state ni imagine ha. Emi asusuelo sama. Okaije se sanrewe. Ono tafo generally. So on na oke kin mare phone age ma jole aya jo mi urumi ugbo ma levi da community keke iri ohi wona gbonarive iri ohi wote Yoruba iri ohi wote Hausa oyo se wan re muke oyo se wan re muhe iri ohi normal thing no the only thing ni ma na ni ma lu ni ma ka lu he organization, association, ada time, ada sabo service so na, ma ve ni mamu gbofo, sorry uto, very
Thanks,
soon,
thanks for
aki
your
agri
contribution.
won juwa. So iri ono
Okay.
bulu.
First, a lot of Metago, a lot of EVS, maybe a war we are trying to be back over with this school. Where we go, we try, where I am confidence, and know where I am that encouragement, where I am a Z. And two, anything where I have a program, 1 or 2 person, big whatever moment by now. One understand the uncle where anybody no we try not of you contribute. Try know what I put on that person. So that at the end of the day,
My brother,
big matter
confidence
make a
in me
contribution
dagbare.
without that.
Even me vibe, doctor,
I have
confidence in me dagbare.
done. Man, on the hand, big you every time now. Maybe I in my have 7 maybe I am. You know, maybe I'm in maybe 10 where I 7 where you know. Big guy, at the end of the day, no one must achieve our aim. Where we are one thing that is more important now. This year, na election year, not in Nigeria, you know, and in few years to come, we might need some, maybe who you might be near Bedo, or you might be Chichaba who Bedo. Emi esori one mamia or Zagima. Emi esori one of Shima Kyodiki. Begamia with the this social media now. All I happy man. You want to make sure my sabwa weboneri o there and there we sori we ni kwada tower ni the tower. I will know I'm more well query. Ge be me dia ge be me ra kan ya ge boka keni maru ge boka ni mama aru rande we are here. And never ne carry ninya. E atemo ba erebe mu mabata imane wo akugbe awo anati otano kpanita osota ina kale osota my try you mara make sure any program naro akwe wokugbe we understand me like very many when Esan mega forum and Esan gbegbe any man we and the memory me asa call work maybe when why you friend maybe when why you friends so one way or the other my for so that at the end of the day mama asabo achieve our aim or you now go and we are get the crops of well merable miss the crops of politicians who were having a nation land mad man asabo tie and this are when agbela memory their position me and business for couple because we are good at the time. We're going to First Lady Stella and then the board of trustee chairman, Osumbo senator, Ugbesha minister. We'll be here this period in Arena Metamawa. Huh?
My brother Mevade, my shot at the Tagbe, make a Tama here in my association, the Manazio. Or you were coming on, yeah? I ran with the Luge, Aki fear you, I ban on with the, so where is a new buffo. I mean, my association, a n'arrive, my lane arrive, all the Mejaia, or a home medagoria, Kiatalo, Italian, really, block Italian, nothing. But on ebe botio a workforce person na kugbe na regele winner selflessly without what I will benefit from my own self, but what my people will benefit generally, a need or no. So if Meka Tama and every other people that are there, Ejimada zero Malone and then my meeting every Saturday. My main meeting every 2 Saturday. Every 2 Saturday, my main meeting. Or we coming on here, the committee obofo. The committee obofo. My main meeting every 2 Saturday. Every 2 Saturday. And then any buni ni ma lio utoni ma lu. Oji on the association on my di on foreign now. On the Facebook on association say so where ki vai mi reve nuelo talo no heke mare talo mai gbema eji mada fi gbema eji ma wana wina no se o eji da mu ma lu ni reve ada tali o ye ki o he so one day esama he I gbe ani
Boria ile sabo that association wetanya Boria ile sabo lawo ye no ma e batawe manirande we are here
well I finish it phone ya obiaba very easy I finish it phone call him number no seme on the page na wo bun on association ni mase se kokonia for the very first time where do the baby ni or you Facebook ma you Facebook Ejimeda zio, ejimeda taloma, iwo ke waribe, or Facebook him. Rivo, my main grand coordinator, Ekboma, or that vary, is the CEO of Esan Academy. My main speaker of the house, my main women leader, and also serving very nearly awful. So, also association on really need. So, our 100 people come on board here to come and say something. If they are not in the team that is reasoning together how to develop Esan land, how to get Esan land industrialized, we don't see them as people who really, everybody want to talk, but when you talk, how are you trying to implement what we should do to get us away from the mess of today, to get us away from the marginalization, to get us away from the abuse? And lastly, like a closing here, lastly, ma meseka me say tami wo he sare ma wi awo ma buin ni hu ma de owo tesa oda me ogwa the Benin the do oda me ogwa the ko umi ogwa be resan use mo wa wa se bu wa ma wi awo ma fi ole era de business ma rebe mamu ne rebe di hotel do ni mamu ne rebe di hotel ko so ma ne rebe wele boni ando bo sorry ma lo fo ma di hotel sa ma do dole ma do de to ni ma so ya bo wa ni o da bo wa ojo rebe we bo a fe ore usuwa usi Nigeria o wa se edo oboli o ikoji o wa be san o wa se bo wa so ni ma wi awo ma to bon ro bon na develop to around the government fi wan ho ania so maki se ka adolo tema then government akivae then maki jo ona o ma olu enu but ma so fo ma se so fo nia so iri ono iwo ke san rewe la di o to san la to anywhere in Esan land you feel that this place is the most developed, or you feel that I want to eat, it does not matter. That is why you can marry any men ubo ameda vary. Uro mi meda rohu. Bakery no seven. Uro mi me ome mwofio. So I must not say because I am from Iru, all those akia hanegbe imazobo anywhere in Esan land, bring your investment there. Anything that is in Esan land, also Sanwe, Ewu, flour mill, also Sanwe, the Uromi bakery, what is it called? Uromi cassava mill, fruit juice, also Sanwe, Abrosali no water Esan de Lena. Obe also Sanwe, say, you know. So anywhere, okay, Iru awe more dio, more actually. All those are learning, man, learning, rekai be a mouse stop point.
Exactly. Exactly. Online in wo tanya. Or in my me where na you are be a kekekeke once above one and me might be one about a second. Ever your in never know as a be me oh may I live our never nade. Random you on a cafe kiki. A boyta, I want to know when do me quite a question where mama might die the program or that we were online. So may I die your topic here and now like mo will have it like my okay woman okay where also where maybe or Tyson may I can maybe or the area no can make okay or may I go here may understand when so where there about we'll continue. Thank you. So, man, see what it
is. Closing here. So, my Ivaco close on the programming here. So, Obulu, no wahala. Maybe later, anytime when you run number, try no calling the number. No, if you're on the page in a way, okay, me number we need. Okay, call on the number.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, beautiful.
Okay, bye.
All right, Esan, Lado, Abunu, Merome closing here. My mama spend the time here learning around day. Me wo ni wo hesa mama kalen ho. Egbe lo me na but igbina se Esan rere ajo egbe lori ha. So ima we awo ma vary ma do the buy on a movement na. Movement se sano. Movement na re filter sangi. Movement na re fiore se namada zegbe mabo and me enaida moandu ereve dan reve ore mare tagbare ore mare dekere ima we awo wado nobo bame ubo wado nobo ma ikeke round day mo pa ya sabolo na because me son inuna no boom ora inuna votonia wa vibe awu na wo round day ada joy omare teme ere mi mafonia omare teme ma tu di page ya nia manisa fio ni page ri beze iwo ken do rewe ki sanore beze e rien fio le si ma so ya nwa e adago e jo mi okay alolo sanwa tu dia e ki so ya attack e dia bi biafra ma tu di page ya da dagonia Esan this Esan that eki sano na on the page so that me on the page emi mama sunu ni eki page rele bun ne san chudia emi mama sun o ye rele o but ni bun rele warrior e a o chujo ya eki mo ni Esan on the page o kelen iwo ken do rele san o re rien afi o re si ma chuje loa si ma len eji da mu alu e adago yo awon se chujo ya eki awon se chujo loa eki arrive ni eki arima bare homa eki arimario and all those pages here a pastor preaching is pastor a mama preaching and page no say san no na re to stay san mo e lo e on the page aki a post the church aki a post the bible verse aki a post the preaching e fi ma amu malu a chu di page ya are e bare dollars o to san je bare che sanrewe kugbeye na re awe afikoko atari ni awe ni post rewe ni post on the page o check out 95% of the post ni post we page o se san emi si pastor no emi si church no pa so e ki a gongon jo ene una uki e wan se show we e je we but adari page ni another town like this cho ene una yore o eye we o eye we enwa gba na efo ekeke a hole so o nidi mare leni ile jo ẹ̀sán bún ìwòtọ̀ ẹ̀sán bún ni ma wò yàwó òwò máa fi gbé àfọwà máa pa àná náà máa sàbọ̀ dọ́lù tẹ̀sán rẹ̀ yìí máa pa náà ẹni wọn àrẹ most of ẹ̀mẹ̀ mẹ́bi kíndín ní sẹ́yìn wọn àrẹ màmá zọ ẹ̀rí yóò bá ẹbí má rẹ̀ zọ ẹ̀rí yóò nìyà because ẹ̀dá lọ sí efo ẹ̀dá àpànà máa kíkẹ́ ẹ̀dá lọ sí efo máa kíkẹ́ ẹ̀dá àpànà ẹ̀dá máa kíkẹ́. Mais moi, je c'est maman fiolé, c'est maman. À moi, ma gboto gbe. À moi, ma gboto gbe. Ni wo ken dolo. À moi, ma gboto gbe. So, ma joye, j'ai ma kyo javona. Ma kyo javona. Ma henre, yo ke san rewe gbe. Ma rewe ma henre. Na do ziyo. Na do zoyo. Bare to te san mouje. Egbe fun are yo ke san. Pa abolo. Ene ma se ra ni program na. La gaye. Ene gare san no bare kpala. Pa punu. Ene ma se follow ni program. Ene ma se re khan. Botinare khan. Ori we ni. Okay, mi follow we ni. Se okay ro follow ni program. So, ni ma nu me juna notification. Now the batty notification is on no level more do remember than going now. So sabore county page not you follow. Okay, I'm in notification every ma be broadcasting or ma posting. So Esan bon il auto il Esan Esan bon awu awu il Esan ni revi Europe no bo mama se il Esan ni revi hotel do no bo mama se ren go nare do to nare belu wa awu awu wa focus é o sei lá wa de le diesan not your focus a focus diesania wa rien doutor de o tesa awana bugwa bo no tare develop je awana lo business bo no tare develop je o lo e furniture making o ta do pa oje es o ta san re ni bo no tare develop je imuna bomi na mama lu aki mo de o ta san ma to bo develop o ta san awude ejuma da fi egbe ma o mama bu o ta san aye zo ri yo lo o ta san ya make a tired ni ukpo riwo ni boom okay we have motor shan o ta san ya we have about using navigator o to ukpo boom enukpo ni ele ni enukpo ni àwọn register ẹjọ́ orí local government ọyíwọ ìdàgọ ìwé na boom ẹ̀sán ríwọ àárín àgbà lóde ọ àárín àjí èso máa rí àkìjọ òkè ọyíwọ mìíràn ìrà ní ọ̀nà tiẹ̀ ní ọwọ́ mìíràn owó àsàn ní dèdè ní ọwọ́ mìíràn ní chọ́ọ̀chì ní ọjọ́ ní chọ́ọ̀chì ní ìyè òkè lé gbọ́ èrè ọ ọ̀nà kò wọ́n ẹ̀yìn yọ so àsùn àbọ̀ ló wà uda abuwa umosa body wo gbe street wo eicho ya street izoge street gbon wo uki do register on the street to local government and mane sani ni re wele bo ma team opinion oni surely mada children organization na avai abumare abiomo akihole abumere akihoi ayere na je egbere are bo egbere abunare na kobokugbe na fiolere si 20 streets akia every 2 months aki di obvious isono jaki tamonoje okay any street any kona maoma mweni ne maoma mweni ne any kona reve maoma mweni ne aki select maybe 20 iho na re lole ada lui fundraising ada koki ho kugbe ikpomi ho no ada sabo lole iho na re muni ni street àwọn àgbà gbé wò kàn òkè san àwọn àgbà gbé àfẹ gbére ọmọ rẹ zó gbé bọrì ọ Esan chi interior village community rí wọ́wọ́ tó Esan boom ebe àti electric pole lè bò àwọn electric pole lè ní ẹran 2x4 ààrẹ ṣùpàlà wà pákọ̀tì náà ma vọ́nrẹ́ bò máa gàbá ṣán máa bùgá ṣán àtúndì Esan fọ́ bàtíọ̀lẹ̀ Esan péjì fún jèrèrè ìwọ̀n ní pásítọ̀ ààrẹ dó máa sàbọ̀ tó tọ́ Esan mú bíníà cultures Igbo, cultures Edo, cultures Yoruba, cultures Hausa. Ààrẹ alẹ́ rèé Autant na bona. Culture c'est ça. Ok, oh. Church, makilusha. Et n'arrivé ailleurs, olé. Ma bien mes culture. Ailleurs, olé. Bare ni ye, hotel san. Eba lo, eba lu. Eba lo, eba da gudu lu. Erona na, jat ancestors yo. Notore temu. Et ni d'arriver ailleurs, lu. Bekichi nare. E na acho elus garden, bo. Esan ni mezen, oh, isiki. Mais Dieu, mais on sait c'est esan re. La re bien re, mais qui deni re, mais qui lo, ouais, dès qu'il mais qui. But, other mama, gbeme da joy, PG. On est sans me da lol. Mais yo, ba, be qui zeme da sa boze san. Mais zedo, be qui zeme da sa boze san. So, I jere ni manda kyuja. Or, eken mare fio dolo. A choja, aki bagbe, aki mano. Sometimes me, because I let me ave bele, ave boha, ave romi, ave boma, keke me are ze. So me let me a ze san pa mareve ma hon. So me me a ze pa. Ma wi a wo ma mano. Akio ya ki mano. Aki buemi. I don't depend because ma pada sabon lole. Ma pada sabon lole. We are so testing how they look. We are based about action testing and we can do Photoshop. We can arrive placing on one here. Okay, I'm on the picture. Arrive, arrive. Okay, je que tout testing one placing like this or mama one here. Nous donnons the picture and nous post sur Facebook. Arrive, my brother. Electric pole, comment electric pole? Community, bon, autre sans electric pole. Comment bo veni, àwọn register ẹjọ́ with local government yìí. Ẹ̀rọ election àṣẹ àárín voting yẹn. Iwo kí sàn àbí ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ dò, iwo kí sàn ní bọ́ọ̀lù wà rẹ̀ dò, ọ̀ iwo kí sàn ní díẹ̀ dò yẹ. Àárín voting, èkì di ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dọ́ local government, èkì dọ̀ voter rẹ̀ ní. Ẹni voting, a kì í ká ìdá voting sẹ̀ iwo kí n dò. A kì í ké ní voting bá voting sẹ̀ iwo kí n dò. Then, na vote ro tesan ki kale nya on ayesi 20%. Governor aki dokere or Edo State government aki dokere ki jo voting on low tesan vai on asi 20%. Àwọn be mu wan lórí o. Mama be mo gbe ma lórí o. Ọ̀hún no ari kanu no ari o te do wa election time vai di owu wa. Di local government no se do vote ni. Di local government no se do vote ni. So en arrivé acho intelligent. Uda mama mwana roro. Uda saboda hole acho intelligent. A zenebo bonukwa acho intelligent. Ejuda fi egbe a. Eja ada mamiri, eja ada hehiri, usaboda hole. Enwa pa ààrẹ dictati eja ada dole mi hen. Esan sons and daughters all over the world. Arabioji, Akigali, Ajo Hano. Wabunawo, Wabonere. Melemi, in the Dion Mama Boom. Arabioji, Akigali, Goji, Ajo Hano. Wabonere, Ado Kubo Kugbe, Nare Munakugbe. Akugbe, Esanjo Ahuno. Esanjo Ahuno. Ma organize the cultural carnival this one, Akicho, Esan carnival, or Euromi carnival, Obiaga carnival, this carnival, this carnival. Those are divisive way of associating people with people. Calabar, even community, kingdoms, like Calabar. Yeah, here we carnival, Calabar carnival, actually. Yoruba, here we carnival, Yoruba carnival, actually. Alele, Mariam, we mafia. Alele. Mawuya wo, Mawuya wo, Mawuya, Mavari, Madon Nakugbe, Madon Zilolo Kugbe, Madon Fioli, Bima Sabolu, Mama Boom, Ada Kwan Kugbe, Bima Sabolu, Waye no Rogbe, Orayi Wokba, Orayi Mokba, okay, I know. Was a try, on walk Yahweh, Wabion, Wabunu, Mesolobo Nania, Adobe Kino, Pajiao, Wabion. Somebody now the big Esan Agbe.